Oh, baby, how can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do. All my life, you're a friend of mine.
It's Ceci and Adam.
This is podcast 129.
Momlennial podcast.
I was thinking about a name change.
For the show?
Yeah, should we take a poll?
I think that's a good idea.
Oh.
Okay, this is what I was thinking. Momlennial Z.
Oh,
The
for a
Momlennial,
little...
and then the Z at the end is the inclusion of Gen Z.
Oh.
I think it's too complicated and no one knows how to spell it.
Okay.
Never
mind.
We could just call it the generations.
That's a thought.
I like Momlennials.
It was that's a very good idea.
Okay, back to the drawing board. You named the podcast the first time around.
I did, yeah.
I love it. Do you think we'd be more popular if we had a more common name?
Like the Smiths? Or how common we want to go here?
I think there's a chance that if you have something that is easier to spell, you might be
It is a long
more
word.
Googleable.
I get more people hung up on the ends
Yeah.
than anything else. Like,
I
how many
get hung up
ends?
on the ends. I don't know if it's 2 or 1.
There used to be a song that Adam and I would play on our radio show.
Yes.
MILLENNIA. Gotta love millennials. So if you're having trouble finding us on YouTube, you can sing the song.
Everyone just clicked.
I've sung now twice on the podcast.
In a row.
It's probably not the smartest idea.
This is the year of sing-songy. Musical
Sing-song.
Cece.
Sing song, Cece. Please
Sounds
stop.
like an intro to VeggieTales.
Now it's time for sing-song with Cece.
Well, how are the generations doing this week? All 3 of us can agree on something. Sometimes we talk about things we don't agree on or the way we see the world differently.
Right.
But we can all agree on the Rose Bowl game.
Oh, my goodness. I had no fingers left from finger I was so nervous.
She was stress cleaning.
I was.
She did not watch the second half of the game with the rest of us. She was
I was so
upstairs
mad.
stress cleaning. She couldn't do it.
Blake Corum, get it together, man.
Which he did.
He did get
So
it. He did
mad.
get it.
He
Yeah,
did.
And
He did.
overtime. Took him till overtime.
It was nerve-wracking, though.
And what about
Stressful.
that kid that missed the field goal?
Oh, that's what you know. He's feeling the worst.
Woo!
Well, they got
And
it.
our
but
guy can't catch a punt to save his life.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Weren't there 2 guys? There was
Yeah.
the original guy and then
Right.
the second guy.
And then they put the second guy cold, and my dad was like, "Why are you putting him in cold?"
Well, I came downstairs after stress cleaning because we made a bunch of appetizers, so I had a lot of cheese to clean up, and I was so stressed. And then this is what I was thinking emotionally. It's been a really tough year, Lord. Couldn't you just throw us a bone, get us a win?
I wonder if he was like, "That's at the top of your list."
Yeah, right. I don't need one more loss this year, Jesus.
Well, something worked because something turned around
was
in
me.
overtime.
It was my prayers.
It was you not being there with the rest of us.
The best part of the game, Adam, was Gen Z, who went to University of Michigan, yelling at the player on the screen saying this, "Well, you show up for a football game, but you couldn't show up to the group project."
I was in a group project with a guy who's on the offensive line. He was playing in the
No
game.
way.
Yeah.
What?
It was in my summer class. I took like summer classes so I could graduate early. And I didn't really realize who he was.
Yeah.
And I look over and you can see the size of this guy and you're like, he has to be here for some sport. So I do what anyone else does and just Google the guy. And of course the football roster comes up. So I don't say what number he is,
Yeah,
but I won't out him like that.
Right.
But so we're in this group project we have to like basically do a rebrand or like a rebrand marketing plan for any company we want. So we're presenting it at the end. He is standing in the corner, like didn't say anything to the class.
Didn't apparently need to show up. with
I
his
had to
best self.
take over and like do his slides for him.
O-line.
Maybe he was
going.
going over plays or something in the
I
corner.
don't
You never know.
I don't know what he was. I think he had to retake the class. Honestly, that's
Oh.
my guess.
This is what was happening
This is
during the
all-
game. We're
yeah.
yelling at the O-line
It was
guy.
marketing 101.
My favorite too is how older generations will just ask him what sport he played, but younger we got to Google. Google
right
first.
there in class.
No, you know what it was? I remembered what it was. He had the backpack. People at big universities they all get gifted a bunch of stuff
Must
from
be nice.
whatever
Neat.
brand that the school works with, whatever. And he had the Michigan Air Jordan backpack because they all
snap.
wear them to class.
Of
And
course.
so
Okay,
you can
the
tell
world
who's
is
who.
backwards. Here we have poor Eliana showing up to class,
Doing all
paying
the
her
work.
way through school. And then, backpack boy just gets to go show up and stand in the corner and then be on TV at the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck, dude?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
deserve to be there.
Yeah.
My favorite was watching my dad watch the game.
Oh, isn't that the best to watch parents watch the game? That's almost more entertaining.
Oh, it was so funny. He, at one point, I forget exactly what he said, but he was like, caught the pass, touchdown, booyah! And it was so funny. I literally kept repeating it for like 5 minutes.
I was upstairs stressed.
I was gonna say-
She missed it.
I'm such a fair weather fan because I do come down when they're in overtime and Michigan had just scored. So I heard everybody cheering. I thought this must be good news. So I came back downstairs and I'm like, and everyone's like, leave, Mom. They started doing better when you left.
Did you see the TikTok of the girl whose boyfriend made her sit in the bathroom during a hockey game?
No.
They were, she was like taking a bath or something, and the hockey team was winning while she was in the bathroom. She came out, they started losing, and the boyfriend said, respectfully, I'm gonna have to ask you to go back in the bathroom. And she did, and the team won.
That's funny.
There's some superstition with those kind of things because I heard that J.J. McCarthy, the quarterback from Michigan, he's, I guess, a very ritualistic kind of guy at the beginning.
He was grounding.
He was grounding.
We talked about that on the podcast where
the
you
foot
walk
thing.
around barefoot.
That's right.
And they show him walking around like, and then he was meditating. I'm like, bruh.
Yeah.
You're
He wouldn't
gonna be
touch
fine.
the rose that they gave him day of.
Really?
Yeah, something. But then Piper was like, they did media day yesterday, and there's pictures of him with the rose in his mouth.
So he's got to be at the stadium.
Does it really count?
Yeah. It's all about being in person, and then it starts up.
Anyway, the generations had a bang on start to the new year.
We'll just see how Monday goes.
Michigan 8.
And left no crumbs.
And left no crumbs.
Oh, man. Just like all the Michigan people say, I'm wearing it for the whole podcast. I don't care what you say. This is what I'm doing. You ready?
What?
Why are you
This-
the sound of
Indiana
music?
Jones is that?
Isn't the
What's
best?
up, Herr McNutt?
Ma'ams, as I tip my hat, this was one of my Christmas gifts this year, and I kind of love it. I'm not
An
gonna lie.
Indiana Jones green
Yes.
felt hat with a woman's belt.
It's not a women's belt; it's a manly strap.
It's a woman's belt.
It's
It's something.
debatable. Debatable.
Why did you acquire that?
It was a gift from some of the people I live with because everybody got a different hat, and I kind of love it.
Oh.
I wouldn't have bought it for myself, but I love that I got
This
as a
is
gift.
your new
your
new look.
This is my new
You're
look.
going to take a picture and put
It's
it on a dating
interesting.
profile or something?
Oh no, I already have that picture covered apparently.
great.
Based off of Facebook from New Year's.
We have to share it on the Instagram page.
Done.
A picture of you in that weird hat and a picture of you and the dog and a glass of wine.
Not even your dog.
It was a
you might
great
add.
New Year. It was like my life in one picture. But anyways, I don't know. What do you think? Yeah? Is it working? I like it. I like the hat.
What was the impetus for gifting?
Impetus. What kind of a word is that?
People
Is this-
read a dictionary.
Does that have to do with a bang on New Year?
You're going to tell me to read a book, but when was the last time you read a book?
Oh, guess what book I'm reading? It fits in very nicely with Adam's new hat.
Oh, is it Indiana Jones?
All right, on TikTok, there is an account that I don't know how it sprung up on my FYP page.
Okay.
For you page. You're saying for you page.
Whippy.
A lady started making food that they would make 200 years ago in 1824. She has a cookbook from 1824, and she has a little cabin in the woods.
Well, that's
and
cool.
so she's doing it old school, where she's cooking it in the fire and all the thing. And
wow.
I was very inspired by her, and I started reading through the Little House on the Prairie. I've read Little House in the Big Woods, and I'm in Farmer Boy as we speak. Kind of funny because I'm reading it on my iPad.
Oh, yeah. Just like in the pioneer days.
But I made an edict
Okay.
of the family that we're moving to a farm.
Oh, okay.
This is her alter ego. I don't know what we need to call it because Lorraine is her other alter ego, and they are not the same person.
It's a Laura Ingalls Wilder-esque alter ego. But I was like, we're going to start canning our food, making sourdough, and someone has to shoot some animals and skin them, and then we eat the meat. Well, that sounds gross. But
The closest family member to being able to do that is Zane, who got a BB gun like 2 years ago for Christmas.
Okay, here's the thing.
He's got Riz.
You know what they got for Christmas, and they were perfectly satisfied and happy?
Canned goods?
Laura got a handmade doll
and
an orange.
I thought we were talking about your
And
kids.
an orange?
And an orange.
Just like just a fruit orange?
Yeah, they were so happy.
You would have been like, what can I do with this?
Play with it, because there was no social media, and they would wait all day for Pa to come home after hunting and trapping all day, and he would sing songs on his fiddle and tell stories.
At dinner time?
Take me back to the although bathing, it's like a once a week situation.
I don't know how the whole porta potty situation would hit you. Or what do they call it? Outhouse. That's what they called it back in the
porta potty.
Porta potty. You know, those John
The
DeGoes.
Porta Johns are rolling up to the prairie.
Little horse buggy with a porta potty in the back. Your shipment's here, sir.
I am going to need your hat, though, because it seems like it would fit in my new aesthetic.
Well, I got to wear it when I ride up on my horse to give you the local vegetable delivery of the week.
Local vegetable
Howdy,
delivery.
ma'am.
We should start doing the podcast from 200 years ago. We should move it to, some kind of property on the woods. It just was such a sweet, simple time. I mean, they did have to fight for their lives with bears. They encountered a lot of bears.
That's a problem.
bears.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
There was also disease and
Oh, yeah.
There's
Dysentery. And then Mary did go blind from scarlet fever. I forgot that that's coming in future books.
that's
No.
a rough one.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't
I'll
know.
probably be stress cleaning
Here's
when it gets to that part.
just listen to the audiobook in your headphones
Yeah.
while you're cleaning.
I would mess my
you're-
Bose Quiet Comfort over-ear headphones. I would miss that
that would
from
be
200 years ago.
maybe the hot tub outside.
I would miss
Oh.
listening to podcasts while I stress clean. Fine, I'll stay in this century.
Oh, boy.
It was a beautiful way of life.
I have a question about your past beautiful way of life. Did you guys drink water in the 70s?
No.
I saw a video about this,
Nope.
and they were like, we did not
Nope.
drink water.
No one was stressed about
Was
water.
there a water shortage? Because there was a gas shortage
You
then too.
just didn't ever consider how much water you were drinking. It was not a health thing. Nobody had a water bottle at all.
Because
What?
I saw a TikTok about this yesterday. Like, you wouldn't buy water from like the grocery store, like bottles of water.
No. There was no water. Nope. You drank at drinking fountains.
or the garden hose.
And at sports games, I don't even remember ever bringing along a water bottle to sports practice.
For the whole time?
Yeah. You just, there was not a water obsession. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, someone was like, in elementary school, we wouldn't bring water bottles. We would just have
no.
like the cartons of milk
yeah.
during lunch.
That's true,
With
actually.
missing children on
Yeah.
the back.
Yep. And then someone said that they got their fluid
true.
intake from Kool-Aid and soda.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid was big.
Yep. Gatorade in the
Tang.
90s.
We had a lot of Tang. You don't like Tang?
Oh gosh, it's like that candy chalk candy stuff that you put in and you mix it around and it's too powdery.
Candy, chalk, candy
Well-
stuff.
You know what?
Th-
The
this-
Valentine's candy.
This week, Andy, I was going to call you Andy.
Who's
That's your new
is
alter
that
ego.
my new hat
What's
name?
the
Howdy, Andy.
Like the guy from The Office.
This week, Andy is having brain fog.
Yeah, this week Andy can't talk about candy the correct way. Yeah, you know that Valentine's candy that's like chalky nasty?
The Valentine's hearts?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
Sweethearts or whatever.
That's what you
Yes.
feel like Tang tastes like?
It's all powdery.
Oh, Tang.
And
man.
then
you thought you were going to turn into an astronaut back in the day if you drank Tang.
What?
They endorse it. I think they drank Tang in space. I got to Google that.
There was a shortage of everything in the
talk
70s.
amongst yourselves. I
All
got to
right.
Google that.
I got a millennial question. We'll pivot a little
We
bit.
don't like Tang.
Okay,
That's the question.
this was another millennial versus Gen Z craze.
Okay, yes.
Adam, if you were receiving a phone call, how would you answer the phone?
Wait.
Oh,
Wait.
oh boy.
General Foods Corporation marketed Tang, a fruit-flavored powdered drink, in 1959. Sales were poor until NASA selected it for use on John Glenn's 1962 Mercury flight and subsequent missions.
So
Nice.
So
That's
here-
why I'm associating Tang with space.
here's what I'm hearing.
job.
It was so bad. They had to go to space to sell it.
Okay, continue.
All right,
Okay.
how would I answer the phone?
How would you pick up a phone?
Is this?
No, like like with your hand, like yeah.
Oh, not what I would say.
No, not
I'd
what
say
you
hello,
Oh.
which is something my kids don't know how to do. They answer the phone and they're just silent. They're not even saying it. Yeah, this is how I pick up the phone. I've got like a piece, like a hang 10.
Oh, right. Yes.
Hang
Yep,
10, dude.
Yep. Thumb to the
Hang
ear,
loose.
pinky to the mouth.
Yep. How would you answer the phone?
Yeah.
I would have answered it and put it right up to my face.
Okay,
Yes.
see, you did what Gen Z does now. Now, when
Oh.
Gen Z is asked how to pick up a phone, millennials and Gen X just go like this, the hand phone
Oh,
thing.
of course. Yes.
But now Gen Z does this.
the whole hand.
Like,
Because that's your
because
cell
that's what an
phone.
iPhone is.
Oh.
We need to go back to prairie days.
Okay, so then
when they
There
had
was
all,
no phones in the prairie days.
so then how would you hang up the phone?
I would put my hand with the hang loose sign and I'd put it down on the receiver.
You know what Gen Z's doing?
They just throw it.
No, they just tap their hand.
Oh my
'Cause
gosh.
they just tap their hand because that's how you end a call. You just press the end button now. You don't actually hang up a phone.
This blows.
So then
This blows.
I know. Another one was, how do you do a heart with your hands?
I don't.
What in the Gen X is that?
You're breaking your
Using
heart.
your palms?
I put my wrists together. I curl up both
gosh.
of my fingers into the shape of a heart.
She's like doing a triple bypass
That's
over
weird.
there.
What do you do?
Me, I can't do it wearing a woman's belt.
That's fair.
We can't do. No, I would do. Well, I'm doing a
struggling.
liver. I don't do one.
You would do this?
yeah, I
Like
would do the thing with your hands.
With your thumbs and then the rest of your four fingers,
Correct.
right? Gen Z is using their pointer finger and their middle fingers and doing this.
Ooh, you got to be careful with a couple of those fingers.
I can't do that. I'm too dyslexic
This is like
for
the
that.
Spock thing. This is too hard to do with your hands. So they do what now?
They take your pointer fingers are straight and then you curl your middle fingers.
Oh, so
It makes a heart.
so you use less fingers than other generations.
Yeah, you use two fingers instead of the whole hand.
I've seen people do that. I cannot do that. I'm too old for the two-finger heart emoji.
You know what? This is actually classic Gen Z. You guys are finding quicker ways
To do
get it
things.
done. See, we use our whole hand. They're using a couple fingers. They're ahead of the
Z.
game.
Yeah, because like
baby.
how would you take a picture if I were to be like with your hands?
I
Yep.
would use both, and I would put the lens up to my one
Yep.
eyeball.
Okay, so
like
that's
the old
Gen
days.
Z, Gen X,
Gen X
and
and
millennials
That's right.
are the
Click,
same.
and then don't forget to wind, like
You know-
the old days.
And then Gen Z is just going like this.
oh gosh,
All
with the
you
selfie
do
thumb.
now is click a side of a cell
it's
phone
because you
button.
stopped getting oranges in your Christmas stockings and started getting iPods.
Which was a big deal then. If they did live in Florida, you get an orange. That's like getting
Can you just
sushi.
pick a tree pick it off the tree in your backyard in
Speaking
Florida?
of which, we
could
talked
if
about
you lived
something
there.
last week. We talked about, if you missed the episode, we talked about our best Christmases.
Oh yeah.
And everybody loved your story of your dad pretending they were out of presents and then presenting you with what was the gaming system?
PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 2. Somebody on YouTube explained why that was such a big deal.
Oh,
What did they
yes,
say?
They said
the story.
the PS2 was a huge deal the year it came out.
And it was.
There was supposedly a typhoon that had destroyed the chip factory, and there was an extremely limited supply
Didn't know that.
of the chips they put in the PlayStation 2s. I actually camped out at a Circuit City in freezing weather to get one of 13 at our local Circuit City when it launched. I feel your excitement.
Oh, that is thank you for sharing that story. That's the best.
So the fact that you landed that the year that there was a typhoon chip shortage meant your parents really loved you.
They went all the way to Taiwan in a typhoon and waves and winds. And they're like, we're getting this chip for our son. And I love that she mentioned Circuit City. You don't hear those anymore
No,
either. That's like
that's
a early 2000s.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what Circuit City is?
It's
Is it like a Best Buy?
It's a store where they used to sell the thumb and the pinky phone, if you will, back in the day.
Thumb in the
And that was back in the day when Black Friday was Black Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Did
Huge.
you ever experience Black Friday in
kind
person?
of. I went pre-COVID a couple times with friends, like to the mall,
Uh-huh.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we would shop around. But I was really just there because
Doorbusters.
Oh, yeah.
I was really just there because the cute guys that I was friends with was also going, and I was like, that'll be fun.
That'll be great.
I'll show them how they can get up and impress them.
That's funny.
Oh, the simple days. Yeah, Circuit City was like a Best Buy.
Okay,
And I think they went under like 10 or 15 years ago.
fair enough.
What else is going under we don't see anymore?
Sears.
Sears.
Oh yeah, did you guys used to get your pictures taken at Sears? That was
yeah.
our big tradition when I was a little kid.
Oh yeah.
And Gen Z's doing it again. Do you see the
You're
the
going
videos of
back.
that? Everyone was doing J.C. Penney photo shoots with their siblings.
JCPenney.
Here's something I don't need for you to ever do.
You're not a big picture person.
I'm not a big picture person, but I don't need a J.C. Penney photo shoot for a joke.
No, it's not worth it.
I just don't.
Would it
That's
be
a pass.
funny? Potentially.
It would be potentially
be.
funny.
It could be.
I think the accountant would get more of a kick out of it than you would.
Probably.
You could do it in those like Christmas pajamas that everybody wears.
Yeah,
every
well, that's
year.
what they do. They show up in like
Oh, they do.
like either Christmas pajamas or like jeans and a black shirt, kind of like The Rock, like in that one 90s picture.
That's kind of fun.
And everyone like does their hair really curly and like, yeah, it's pretty funny.
Wow, that's amazing. So I'm hearing a lot of things are coming back that the Gen X's and Gen Y started, if you will.
I heard sourdough is coming back. People making sourdough.
I have a friend who's been making sourdough.
I think it's because stress. I think it's because we're living.
We need more bread to get through life.
We need more bears clawing at our front doors. In the little house in the big woods, Pa had a loaded gun that was hung on hooks at the top of the door. I'm so glad Zane was not in this time period. And then
How did you parent middle school boys with that in the
He
house?
smelt it. Well, they had to work. They had to work the farm.
Oh, they were in the field.
So they weren't bored and ADHD because they were with the animals on the farm.
Zane would not have been able to work in a farm.
Oh, I don't know. Help.
You're
Send
gonna be
help.
like, apparently this is really hard.
Pa would smelt down bullets every night. They had a little bullet mold, and then Ma would like heat up the smelt. I don't know, and smelt down. I mean, these were the days, man. Adam in your hat.
The only thing I enjoy about that is the hat. But we'll talk. If you want more of the Momlennial podcast, well, then subscribe. That way you'll get new episodes without having to do the work, and that's totally our jam.